Okay, hello. So I want to review Spider-Man Brand New Day. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I kind of hated this movie. I watched it a couple nights ago in VMAX, which is funny because they keep mentioning VMAX in the in the movie. Um, it was like depressing. I want my money back. I give it 2 out of 10. I feel like I want my memory. I want my memory to be erased of this movie. It felt really amateurish, like especially the last 20 minutes or so. I felt was really slow and lame and like was going for all these emotional moments that for me just felt flat and I thought it didn't earn it. And there's a lot of aspects I didn't like. I don't want to be too negative, so I want to be try to be pretty efficient. I think a lot of people will like it. Its average, its rating on IMDb is like 8.2, and it has 82,000 ratings, and it's in the top 250 now. So I don't think that will last, but I'm obviously in the minority. I really was underwhelmed. So there's a few ways I would sort of try to explain it. I'll get into the aspects of the movie, but it has the same director as Shang-Chi, which I think I looked up and then I was like, oh, I don't want to see this, and then I forgot. I gave Shang-Chi like 4 out of 10, and Deadpool and Wolverine, I also didn't think that was that good. I gave 5 out of 10. I bring those up because it reminded me of those. Deadpool and Wolverine had one of the weakest villains I've ever seen. Terrible acting. So did this movie, in my opinion. Several actors I thought were very weak. And Shang-Chi, same director, same weaknesses. To me, this is very woke. People criticize The Odyssey for being woke. This movie was woke. One of the best parts of this movie was Zendaya. She might have been the best part. And Tom Holland and John Bernthal, they were all in the Odyssey. There was a couple of scenes with them, and I was like, wish I was watching a different movie with them. And then what was the other? Like Mark Ruffalo was okay, but okay. Let me get into some of it. So there's a few other actors. I was scrolling on IMDb just so I don't know their names otherwise. So there's a woman who's like a detective. I won't spoil anything, or there'll be a part, so I don't think this is a spoiler. But she works with Spider-Man. It's like Liza Colon Zayas. I don't know her. I hated her acting. I didn't think it wasn't believable. This feels woke. It feels forced. You've got a relatively short, I guess Latino woman. I don't know, but woman of color or something as a police chief. Like that could happen, but she doesn't seem competent. We never see her do her job. She's just always she's always buying food or something in the middle, and like, oh, say hi to Spider-Man, and like it just feels like, is this not serious? Is this meant to be cute and funny? I don't I didn't find her like commanding or serious at all. And then there was another black guy in it, Tremel Tillman. He plays William Metzger or something. He was like kind of in charge of the like. Anyway, he's in the movie again. I don't want to spoil anything yet. I couldn't stand his acting. It felt amateurish, like TV, which I think he has been on TV shows. I'm not trying to pick on these people. Either they were miscast or I just didn't like their acting. And then there's another person in it I'll get to, but it's sort of the villain is terrible. Like the words that come to mind are charisma. There's no charisma. There's no charisma, no intensity. I mean, I think I have more intensity half the time as a teacher when I just glare at students or raise my voice. There's more intensity than, it's like a little girl trying to be like pouting. It's not, I don't know. It didn't work for me at all. And it took me completely out of the movie. I was so underwhelmed. I didn't like the look of the movie at all. It reminded me of Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I haven't I haven't seen part of, but I don't. It's like this dirty. It's like yeah, the noisy, dirty, messy. That like I like if you look at say Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 2, they've got great music by Danny Elfman, and they're stylized, right? And the villains are great, like Willem Dafoe and what's his name, Doc Ock, Alfred Molina. They're like very chew into the scenery, kind of like they know what they're doing. Those movies, I think, are dated a bit. That some of the pseudoscience, they're a bit silly as well. But the action scenes are really good. Tobey Maguire's good, and it's like very heightened reality, very stylized and colorful and cool, while still having some, a bit of darkness to them. But this this movie feels ugly and like even the background, like this is messy. This is probably not a good look. I might be better if you just had like a red background, or I should get some sheet and put it up. But like that's hopefully people aren't watching this for the. But if this was a movie, there's no way I would allow it to be this messy. You want it to be a bit neater, a bit more organized, so people know where to look, and it's distracting. And just yeah, a lot of the CGI didn't feel real. I didn't like the style. I don't think it's a spoiler to say Hulk is in a bit. That was probably some of the highlights. Some of the action was all right, but it didn't feel like I cared about the stakes. Um, for me, the humor fell really flat. I was in a full cinema. I don't know if I mentioned yet. It was VMAX. They kept referring to VMAX. I have the ticket, but I often keep tickets. But I'm like, I kind of want to just like destroy this now. I don't want to remember this. It felt like yeah, there was no reaction to the humor by the audience, and by the end, it was just the last 20-30 minutes or so. I won't spoil, but it just feels like there's a lot of emotional scenes, and yet none of them worked for me. I was reminded me of Matrix Revolutions in the sense of wanting to look away, not wanting to watch and engage. So massively, I also would say it has the worst post-credit scene I've ever seen, ever, and it's like hilarious. Though everyone stayed, everyone, and there's no mid credits, and you wait, and there's the worst. Like without spoiling it, there's no humans. You don't see. There's nothing live action, right? So and it only lasts about 10-15 seconds and tells you very little. I think people were saying, "Oh, that's referring to this or that." It's like I don't even care. I only stayed because I usually stay for credits anyway, just to let the music wash over, and in this case, just to get like process how bad this movie was. That's another thing. I thought the music was really mediocre. So that's where I'm coming from. Bad acting, I'd say sort of woke casting with a few, but that overlaps with the bad acting. That's why with Nolan, when he casts one or two people that are like, okay, maybe is he going for diversity? But then they're really good actors, and it's a minority of the movie, and it's consistent with what he's doing, right? With this, it feels more conspicuous, and there were a lot of random shots, and it felt like if I didn't know the proportions of this place, I would think it was like 20% white people and 80% other races. I don't necessarily care most of the time, but it just felt noticeable. It felt forced, and just yeah, bad acting. The other comparison is some of the other Spider-Man. I'm not a big fan of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, but they're okay. I thought Homecoming was okay. Far From Home I kind of liked. No Way Home I thought was quite good. I mean, that has some really exciting things in it. But this one I hated by the end. I think I might have given it a 5 near the end, but the ending was so bad and it got worse and worse and worse for me. And then by the end I was like, no, I'm so annoyed. So I'll go into spoilers now. So main spoiler, I guess you've been warned, is Jean Grey. Jean Grey's in the movie as the villain, and Sadie Sink. I thought she had no presence at all, no charisma, whatever. I don't know what other words to use. There's nothing there. That and this is the other thing where it feels woke. I don't want to go into lots of it, but just the story where it's like every villain has to be misunderstood, and just it's like I can't remember all of it, but she like you could cut like controlling people's minds is a huge violation of privacy, and she does that to like hundreds of people. She's driving a tank and just endangering God knows how many people, hundreds, maybe even thousands. She controls a whole chunk of the city for a while, and it's implied that they're all stuck, like it's torture basically. Like Zendaya has tears going down her face, but then it's like not mentioned again. So and then it's like, oh, she's just like angry. It's like I don't care. I fundamentally disagree. I don't care what you've been through in your life. You don't get to then hurt other people. There is no justification. It's also something where I don't get the powers, and it feels like this cliche of like, it reminds me of Dragon Ball Z, where you have this like anger and then just you burst out, and like that can work, but you still want to earn it. You want to work for it. You want to show a bit of like a progression and some kind of training, and then something that clicks, some breakthrough. But here it just feels like the same for Spider-Man. He's coping with weird Spider-Man powers, and eyes are going black, and it's like, why hasn't this happened before? And it just feels a bit forced. And then suddenly he's like, at the end, I'm both Spider-Man and Peter Parker, it didn't feel earned. It just kind of abruptly happens. That's another thing. There's the same director as Shang-Chi, so I guess he's, I don't know, Destin Daniel Cretton, DDC. I think he looks Asian. Does it say background? Oh, Hawaii, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure of background. But it's like some of it feels like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like they're just kind of jumping around. I don't love that. That can work, but I don't know if it works in Spider-Man. There's some of the fight choreography was okay. Like you could tell there was skill, but again, I didn't care about the stakes and I didn't like the look of it. I didn't like the acting. So it's like too many other aspects. And again, the ending, a lot of those scenes near the end just feel like I didn't even get the scene with what's her name? Marissa Tomei comes in, and this kind of alludes to with great power comes great responsibility, but they never say that. It's always like a different version. I just can't you just say the phrase like and then suddenly the Jean Grey comes in, and then they're talking and they're emotional, and I don't understand. I much prefer, like with Nolan's movies like The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Rises, we don't, the good guy and bad guy fight each other, they beat each other up, they argue a bit on philosophy in some ways, but it comes to punching and like eventually either, you know, defeating the enemy and potentially killing in a lot of movies, good and evil, right? The good guys in Star Wars, they don't discuss with the bad guys and try to like, oh, they're just misunderstood. It's this naive vision of the world as if every villainous person, every evil person is just misunderstood. I fundamentally disagree. What else? I should probably cut some of this now. Okay, I gotta think. Okay, another huge part was the friends, right? The chubby guy and Zendaya, and they don't know who he is, and it's just like, I don't find that an interesting subplot, and I didn't feel like the emotions worked, and I just felt like you can easily resolve this, or at least move towards resolving it. It's a huge advantage. Like if I had good friends and then they lost their memories, it's like I should be able to easily become friends with them again because I know them. I know what makes them laugh. I know their taste. And I could just go along with that and quickly become friends again. They might not trust me immediately. They might not completely let me in, but it shouldn't take that long. And then the other thing is, what if they become suspicious? Wait, how did you know that? And I'm like, I was just guessing. And there's just a few too many things where it's like, how did I know that? I can eventually say, look, there's something going on. I'll tell you eventually. I don't think I can fully tell you yet. You got to trust me. And then eventually, like you got to tell me, what is this? And it's like, it's going to sound crazy. And then they might also connect that, wait a minute, they feel like they have all these gaps, and it's like, you got to forgive me, but I made it, Doctor Strange do this spell and you lost your memories and stuff like that. And just say, I've known you and you just forgot. And they might be like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. So you're my, and then hug and be like, but why did you, and it's like, explain and discuss, like, but instead everything's awkward and Tom Holland's just keeping away from them and like, oh, I can't do, why not? And why not talk to Doctor Strange? It's always so arbitrary who you can contact and who you can't. Anyway, I thought that stuff went nowhere in the movie. What else? Other aspects of the plot didn't make any sense to me either. Okay, I'm gonna have to edit this. Let me see if there's anything else that comes to mind. Yeah, I hated the acting. Oh, okay. Another big thing, the Punisher. I did like John Bernthal, but I thought the Punisher was really nerfed. I don't actually know the character that well. But I hate that cliche as well, where the good guy, Spider-Man, stops him from using his gun. Batman does that in The Dark Knight Rises to Catwoman, but it's more like funny. And it's the movie kind of implies that they're still winning. It's just more of he has that preference. And she kind of wins him over at the end, right? She comes in at a key moment, uses a weapon and then says, the whole gun thing. I don't know that I feel as strongly about it as you do. It's very funny. To me, it's something that says, like, guns are dangerous, but when push comes to shove, if you're trying to save someone's life, you want to, in that situation, you want a gun. And that's the thing. That's, I think, law-abiding people should have the right to own guns. But in this movie, he's like trying to stop the Punisher, and it just feels like, I hate that cliche of like infighting and you've got to be better than that. It's like, no, just let the Punisher do his thing. I'd like to see that. He might actually stop the tank. And the other thing, the Scorpion was in it. That was okay. I didn't like the actor though. I thought very weak. Again, I don't. It's like a different approach to acting itself, where it's maybe too much overacting, but no real like depth or grounding to it. Yeah, I didn't think I have much else to say. Hopefully, I'll edit this a little bit. But yeah, this was a massive disappointment. I feel let down by the IMDb rating. I should have trusted my instincts based on the trailer, based on the director, and yeah, just that past experience. Never again, never again. This happened with J.J. Abrams as well. I was excited for The Force Awakens. I got confused. I forgot how much I hated some of his earlier movies. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching. Maybe you'll enjoy it more than me. Okay. Bye.